So welcome back to another Top 5 Tuesday at Sprague Homestead. Today we're going to talk about getting ready for winter. So the things we're going to talk about today are the things you need to prepare for winter. Now for us, we get upwards of 60 inches of snow over winter on a good, cold, wet year. And maybe we will this year. We just won't know for sure. So the 5 things we want to talk about are what we are going to do to prepare, and hopefully if you guys are in the same situation where you have a lot of cold and a lot of wet, you're probably going to be doing this too. So let's start off the first thing. Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about is heating. Now for us, if you've watched a lot of our stuff, we do firewood mostly as best as we can during the winter. So we have a firewood bin, firewood stove. We cook by propane, and on those mornings we need quick heat. We have a propane heater in the house or the shop.
So what that means is full firewood bins. We've already got our propane full for the year. And if you're not using firewood or propane or anything, you probably want to be doing things like having your HVAC unit serviced, changing filters. He's still got to get up on top of the roof and get the fireplace clean. That's something he does every fall. So we've got to get that all done. And just make sure you just want to go through, if your fireplace hasn't had the gasket changed on the door, because on your wood stove, you may want to look at that. We did ours about, 4.5 years ago. So I need to check ours this year and make sure that the gasket is holding up. If not, this is the time to replace it, and not when the snow is 1 foot or 2 feet deep. So the second thing is making sure that your roadway, whether that's your driveway or if you're like us, it's on a Forest Service road that we maintain, you want to go through and make sure everything's in good enough shape that when the snow is falling, or if you're just getting a lot of rain and moisture, that the road is in a good enough condition that you can get out. So for us, this means we're going to pull the driveway groomer, make some passes over the driveway. We're going to go up a little higher on the road, make sure all of our bar ditches, which are ditches that come off the roadway to drain water, we're going to make sure all those are open. This is a time to fill in or bust open potholes, because as the rain falls and those things fill up, they just get worse.
So continuing with the snow theme, this is a time to definitely get your snow equipment serviced. You might have a snow blower, a snow plow, anything that requires hydraulic fluid, grease fittings, anything like that. This is the time to get it out, get it ready to go, to make sure that when you need it, when you need to call it into service, it is 100% ready for action.
So another thing we do to get ready for winter is we go through and see who around here needs to be cold. I know that's probably not everybody's favorite part of things. Particularly for us, that means we are cutting back any birds that we might have hatched this year that we are not going to be keeping for next year's breeders. We also go through and start evaluating the rabbits. For anybody that's not really produced this well, they're going to go ahead and be culled out of the program. Goats are another thing. If we've got goats for sale, this is the time that we start doing it. And if they're not sold by late October, November, they're probably heading to freezer camp. The idea behind this is winter chores kind of suck already. Snow and rain and cold. So we don't want to be putting a lot of time and money into animals that really aren't going to benefit us in the long run.
Okay, so getting back to equipment. Now I already talked about snow removal equipment, which may be a plow or a blower. The other piece of that is you probably have something that's going to drive it. Now this could be a tractor, it could be a truck, etc. All those things need to be well serviced. Oil, if you do a lot of cold weather like we do, where you can hit 30 below, you've got to have a great cooling system that will handle and take that without splitting radiators, hoses, engine blocks. You may have to run a block heater or something like that, where you plug it in at night to keep it warm enough above temperature. And then also if you need traction devices, if you have snow tires, you may have those put on. If you have snow chains, you need to know how to put them on prior to the snow falling, and you have to lay in it to figure it out by instructions. These are the time to make sure you know where everything is, how it operates, and that it's prepared, again, 100% to when that snow flies, it is ready to go.
And don't overlook things like generators. We use a generator for backup power, so of course we make sure every fall that ours is all serviced up. But if you're still on the grid and you do have one for backup use, go ahead, pull that thing out and service it. This is the time you want to be doing that, not when you're actually in an emergency and need it. So the last thing we do to get ready for winter around here is make sure that we are stocked not only for food for us, but feed for the animals. Of course, we still feed a lot of commercial feed to our birds and our rabbits and things like that. But we're also the kind of people that we stock up enough that we can go at least 2 weeks around here. So this is the time of year where I'm cleaning all of my feed bins annually to make sure everything's clean. There's no weird mold, no funky stuff in the bottom of the feed containers. We make sure absolutely we've got enough hay. We start stocking things like straw for bedding through the winter. And I'm going through the garden and I'm getting the rest of what I can for the rabbits to dry and, doing canning for us. I've finally got the last of my pears actually done, and they will be canning this week. Thank God. I am so sick of fruit in the living room. We've dug our potatoes, so we're getting ready to store those. We're watching the onions. Those will be going into storage here pretty soon. So it's all about making sure that we are ready for winter and our livestock are ready for winter.
All right, so those are 5 things we do around here to prepare for winter. It's so cold. So what do you guys do to prepare for winter? Is it similar with firewood, vehicle preparation, snow removal? Maybe you don't even have snow and it's just cold, but I'm sure there's some things you guys probably do out there that may be different for us just because of weather and climate. So that's it for this time for Sprague Homestead. Another great Top 5 Tuesday, if I will say so myself.
And he will.
And I will, because I'm biased like that. So thanks for stopping by to view and subscribe. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that now so you catch all of our new uploads. And what's the catchphrase?
Happy homesteading.
Happy homesteading. We'll see you next time.